Today I'm working with one of my favorite long-term athletes, and we're working on shoulders. We're focusing on shoulders. Why don't you tell me, and it's kind of paraphrase what you've been telling me, you're swimming.
Each shoulder is hurting in different ways. The left one is hurting across the top here. In particular, it seems to be worse in the kind of the streamline type position. That seems to make it start hurting here. The right one is hurting in the front when either swimming or running also is really making this tired right here. So I'm having two different problems on each shoulder.
Okay, so this is a triathlete, so we're working with multiple sports. And what I'm finding is a lot of the running often involves the opposite core. We've come up with that too. And then the swimming too, there's a lot of rotation. Okay, so I start with my PDTR card, which is a way of challenging the brain to see if I get a muscle turn on off reflex loop. And that just tells me she's testable. So that worked. Okay, so then I'm going to go into the shoulder itself. And just kind of see, so you're saying it's like right about...
It's right across here.
Okay.
That
Okay. So yesterday, or earlier this week, we worked on some of the muscles, the pec minor, which kind of pulls the shoulder forward, and the infraspinatus, which is one of the 4 rotator cuff muscles, as well as pec minor, infraspinatus, subscap. So another one of the 4 rotator muscles, and we balance that out. So let's just see how that's doing today. So I'm going to test and isolate the muscles, much like you would isolate a muscle in the weight room. So I'm going to have you push back. So that's more of kind of a infraspinatus test. It's strong. I'm going to have you look at these double lines and push back, and it weakens. Okay, and look at the X, and it strengthens. So think of when I use the card, it's a way of bypassing the muscle, going to what I think of as a circuit breaker in the brain, how the eyes process these shapes. And the muscle should turn off and turn on with these different shapes. Okay, so then that's working. Let's go back, let's go down to the subscap, push back towards me. Okay, and that's good and strong. Push back towards me, and it's letting go. And push back towards me, and it's strong. So that's working too. And then bring your shoulder forward. Oops, and don't let me push it down. And that's good and strong. And again, parallel lines, inhibits the hemispheres, and X engages. So that's good. So that was not working the other day. So it
was better today.
That's good. Yes.
It was better today.
And you swam.
I swam this morning. It was better.
You said it hurts when you're kind of up in this position. Okay.
This position that seems to.
So hold this arm here. Don't let me pull away. Okay. Again. Don't let me pull. Okay, so that's good. That's a subclavius muscle. When you're doing that, you're letting go of the lat. So let's check what the lat is doing. So hold this down this way. Don't let me pull. That's working too. It's hurting in the front when you do this. So you're also using your pec muscle when you're doing that. So let's check the pec. The pec major sternal comes this way, so I'm going to push up and away, straight elbow. Don't let me push. And that's not able to hold. Okay. If you look at the X, it engages. So it's telling me the muscle in the clear, meaning I'm not doing anything to it, is not able to engage. We're able to bypass the muscle, go to the circuit breaker, and get it to engage. That tells me something. It tells me it's a mechanoreceptor dysfunction. Basically, there are little receptors, I think of them like detectors, movement detectors that tell the brain your position in space. Something's wrong. It's not telling the brain the correct thing. So the pec is turning off, and again, that's when you're doing this. Try this one. I'm going to push down and away. Good. Okay. So that's fine. That's the pec clavicular division starting at the end of the clavicle. So we're working with this muscle here. So hold here, don't let me push. The muscle's not able to engage. Okay, she's strong. She's way stronger than me, and it's not holding. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting some pressure, very lightly, just over the skin. It's enough feedback to turn down the volume of these little detectors that are throughout the skin. Okay, and hold here, don't let me push. So something in that area that I just rubbed is firing too high and it's shutting off this muscle. So we need to hone down and find out where that is. So I'm going to go to the upper trap, just rubbing over the upper trap very lightly, and hold here. There it is. Okay, give it a few seconds, hold that again, and it shuts off again. Okay, so this muscle is too high, this muscle is too low. So we can check that. Hold your shoulder up. Okay, I'm going to come around here. Now let me pull apart. That's the upper trap. Look at that. And it's not moving, it's not budging. Okay, so it's not able to tone down. So, so we're going to go to that. So let's try to figure out, hold this up. I'm just using a muscle that's able to test. I'm squeezing the muscle belly. That if it's normotonic working right, it'll shut off and then turn back on. That's like going to the light switch and just making sure it's functioning. So I can use that as a test. And I'm going to go to this upper trap and I'm just stretching it. I'm tapping it. There it is. So it's a tap receptor called the nuclear chain fiber receptor. And basically that is part of the problem. I need to get a reflex. So I'm revving up that detector, that little receptor. And then I'm just getting a deep tendon reflex somewhere in the body. Okay. That'll hold it for a while where that tones down. So now if I go to this muscle, hold here, it's going to fire nicely. Okay. So then I'm going to rev it up, hold here, and then I'm kind of going over, let's see, it's actually not the pec is a problem. So there's something else that's a problem. And now I have to kind of here, spinatus, teres. It's in here. Okay, it's probably rhomboid. Okay, so this is a great example of that. There's not only just one or two muscles; it could be a whole bunch of muscles throughout the body. I think of it like in a stadium, you could have a lot of lights, but just one switch or two switches to turn them all on and off. So there's probably something going on in the maybe the rhomboids. Hold this here again. Don't want to push. See, we already kind of honed it, so it's not going to show up weak. Let's just see. Hold here, right there. So I'm just going to stretch it. I'm going to stretch it in several different ways, in case it's not the rhomboid. It might be a paraspinal muscle. Okay. And just get a reflex. Okay, so then we go back, hold here, pec major sternal, shuts off, turns on correctly. Okay, hold this in, don't let me pull, rhomboid, shuts off, turns on. Okay. And so basically this is how we start to reprogram all the muscles. And we didn't test a lot of the muscles to see what else was in that group of dysfunction, but what we just did should bring all of them back online correctly. So yesterday we worked on some muscles, today we worked on some more. I'm trying to see like what other muscles might be involved. Let's just check some of these. Hold your arm here, don't let me push. Hold here, don't let me push away. Try that again. Okay. Hold this back, don't let me push. So I'm just checking some other muscles. This one, okay. Tricep, short head tricep is not engaging. So when you're a swimmer, that's an important one, right? Bringing the arm up, out. So something's going on in the back part of the tricep muscle. What I'm doing is I'm going to scan around, and scanning is in the PDTR language, we call it the opposite of stimming, anti-stimming. We're turning down the gain of that area. Just see if it makes a difference. And hold here. It does. Weak muscle. I'm kind of scanning. Hold that. Okay. And hold that. Something in there. So maybe the posterior deltoid. Maybe teres minor or major, that's where the problem is. Okay, so it's a very quick way of finding where the dysfunctional patterns are with things. So hold here, don't let me swivel in, strong, stay strong. So it's a teres minor, very small muscle, but it's another one of the 4 rotator cuff stabilizers. So you have 4 per shoulder, and this star athlete here had like 3 out of 4 not working. So that's a problem, especially when you're competing or just pushing yourself in the workout. So, because then what happens is if something doesn't work, your body compensates, and then the brain will just pull other muscles in to compensate, and then you get this whole
Then you hurt something
dysfunctional
else.
problem. You may win a gold, but then you're gonna tear something or something else happens. Okay, so let's hear. Okay, so again, I'm finding the muscle. I'm just doing a stretch. I'm doing a tap. Okay, in this case, it's a vibration. So I have 3 different types of tuning forks. One is 128 hertz, one is 256 hertz, and one is 512 hertz. So I'm just going to basically vibrate over that area. And if we hit a overactive vibration receptor, it's going to feed back. So this is the one that's a problem. It's 256 hertz. It correlates with what's called a Meissner receptor, which is a very specific vibratory receptor in the skin. And it pairs with what's called a Pacini receptor, a pressure receptor not too deep in the skin. Okay, so again, just revving it up. While it's revved up, I get my deep tendon reflex. It's like hitting return on a keyboard. It sends it into the nervous system. And now I need to find out where in that tricep what the problem is. It's like right here. It's the pressure. So I'm stimulating both of those dysfunctional receptors and then sending it home. And that should clear that. So let's check. So hold this back, don't let me push. I'm good and strong. Checking the on-off switches. It shuts off. It turns on. Okay, try this one. Swivel out. It shuts off. Turns on. So that's good. On here, let's check.
Let's check what happens when I go back and that's tight.
Okay.
Yeah, so far.
So far so good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to check the serratus muscles, which come around the side and hug the ribs. So the serratus muscles come around, they hug the ribs, and the lower, let's see, actually, down here, actually that's the upper part of the serratus up in here, are not firing correctly. They'll stabilize the ribs, and that's not working. Let's hold that again. Okay. Well, let's just see. Hold here. Yeah, somewhere in the mid back. Okay.
Oh, that's really close to where the.
Yeah. So go like this. Okay. I'm going to pull forward. That's getting into some of the upper mid back paraspinal muscles. Hold that. It's not shutting off. Okay. These muscles coming around are not firing. These muscles are overfiring. So again, we just have to find them and fix them. Okay. So hold here. Right there. I'm checking stretch, tap, vibration. That's not working, so I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try deep pressure. I'm going to try. Okay, so this is what's called a Golgi receptor. So it's kind of a slight stretch receptor. So let's try that. Slight stretch. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go slight stretch. Now, just having done that, stretching the overactive paraspinal muscle and then resetting it, let's check this serratus. The serratus is able to fire, so I know I'm on the right track. So stretch, and then coming in here, in there, another stretch. Okay, so hold that again. Serratus, shuts off, turns on, put your hand back here like that. Shuts off, turns on. We've cleared 3 different dysfunctions today and 1 more the other day. So there's 4 total that we want that we, reset through the shoulder. The nice thing about working this kind of functional neurology way is that a reset is a reset. That should not return. If there's a tear or some kind of something that's more orthopedic going on, then the body will keep compensating. You'll keep getting more dysfunctional patterns. If that keeps happening, then that's when we need to get an a diagnostic ultrasound or an MRI, and then go from there. What's here? So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of checking the shoulder alignment. Just kind of pushing the shoulder in different ways. Just checking to see. Then it seems okay. Put your hand on your neck. Okay. Just feed back to the cervical spine. And that seems okay too. Okay. Turn your head to the left and turn your head to the right. Okay. Bring your head to the side and the other side. Okay. How about back and move forward? Okay. So I'm just checking using the sequencing muscles in different ways. Is that going to throw something off? And in her case, it didn't. Make loose fists. Don't let me push you back. I'm checking the abs. Turn this way. Don't let me swivel you back. Okay. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Okay, good. Come this way. Don't let me push. Okay, good. Lean back. Don't let me push you forward. Okay, and then hinge forward and arch you back. Don't let me push you. Okay, good. So that's just a very quick way in a seated position to check the abs and the core and the low back, because that could be playing in too. So when you swim, you're also doing this, and that's really important. So let's look at the right shoulder. Okay.
Okay. It's like almost dead or numb right in the front.
Okay. How about back? Part of the deltoid. That's here.